listening to What's Your Wrinkle with Dr. Arthur Perry. What's your wrinkle?
Is your wrinkle? I'm board-certified plastic surgeon Dr. Arthur Perry, and I'm the host of this show, which we normally talk about things like cosmetic surgery and skincare and dermatology and medical conditions. But tonight we're going to change the topic just a little bit because I have Dr. Jeff Asherman on the line. Now, Dr. Asherman is a board-certified plastic surgeon. He's one of my colleagues at Columbia, and very interesting story. Dr. Asherman is running for state assembly. So I want to tell you a little bit about Jeff first. And then we've got Jeff on the line. He's going to talk about why, as a board-certified plastic surgeon, as a full-time faculty member at Columbia, he's running for state assembly. But before you hear about that, you have to hear a little bit about Jeff. Now, Jeff's been around for a while on the faculty. He is one of the premier plastic surgeons in the United States. Truly is. He's been on all the top doctor lists forever, since 2009. He's gotten Teacher of the Year awards at Columbia. He's gotten presidential awards for the Northeastern Society of Plastic Surgeons. He's gotten the Gold Doc Award from the Gold Foundation for demonstrating compassion. He's gotten teaching awards and research awards, humanitarian awards. He's the real deal, and I'm so happy that Jeff is running for state assembly because we need someone like Jeff Asherman. So without further ado, Jeff, are you on the line?
I am, Art. Thank you so much for having me.
I am so happy to have you on the line tonight, and I am so happy that you are running for state assembly because I'll tell you, we need you in Albany. We need you very badly. So tell us, as a board-certified plastic surgeon, what on earth got you to run for assembly?
Well, Art, as much as I love what I do, which I do love being a surgeon, I've also always thought it's important to try and do some work for the community outside the hospital. And I recently found out an amazing fact, and that is, while there are doctors in both houses of Congress, there are doctors who are governors, there are zero in the entire New York State legislature. So you have 150 people in the Assembly, which is what I'm running for, and 63 in the Senate. So 213 people who pass all kinds of health care legislation with no doctors involved. So I thought if I could be there, I could really help everyone, Democrats and Republicans alike, because healthcare is not a partisan issue. As a matter of fact, in 2012, I joined the Community Board for the East Side as a public member on the Health, Seniors, and Social Services Committee. And nearly every meeting, I was able to help out on healthcare issues because there, too, I was the only physician. And again, it's not a partisan issue. I helped everybody. So when I saw this was going on the state level, I thought I'd really like to be there so that I could help all patients, which is really all New Yorkers, and that's why I decided to do this.
You know, Jeff, it is so important. You're absolutely right to have a physician representing, not just physicians, but really the public within the state assembly because, all these statutes are driven by, they're voted on by the assembly. The regulations, of course, are by the Board of Medical Examiners or the equivalent in New York. But you're responsible in the assembly for insurance legislation and hospital legislation and legislation that affects doctors and patients. And when we hear all the things about the federal health care, well, it's very, very important on the state level also. So, when you told me you would be the only physician in the assembly, I was shocked. I actually didn't realize that, and I think it's so critically important. What's your district? Where are you exactly?
So I'm on the east side from about 95th down to 32nd Street, and from 5th Avenue over to 3rd or 2nd Avenue, depending on where you are. And on between 61st and 45th Street, it goes all the way over to the East River. And, just to add what you were saying, Art, about there not being a physician, some people may say, what difference does it make? But as you know, we're always asked as physicians to support bills going in front of the legislature, and often we're asked to provide examples. And why the examples? And that's because there's no one there who experiences it the way we do. Just to give one example, there was a bill I was asked to support this year to prevent the pre-authorization hassles that you and I and all other physicians and patients really go through if they want to see their doctor, if they want to have a test or they want to have a surgery. And I can say, if I could be there in the assembly to explain, for example, as someone who does a lot of breast reconstruction and takes care of women with cancer, I've had women with cancer where we've had to delay their surgery to resect the cancer because we couldn't get authorization. And I think if people would hear examples like that in the legislature, they would understand that's why we need to pass certain bills. It's really to protect patients, so much of it.
Absolutely. You know, in an era where insurance companies are really directing medical care, but yet they're almost indemnified. How can you sue an insurance company for malpractice when they don't let you have a procedure? But they're really practicing medicine. That's why we need you in the state assembly. We need more physicians to represent not doctors, but patients. And we're all patients. Every one of you listening is a patient now or will be or have been. You know, that's a fact of life. So we have Dr. Jeff Asherman. He's running for state assembly. I heartily endorse him. I've never endorsed a candidate on this show before. I want you to vote for Dr. Asherman. He is a spectacular guy. I can personally vouch for him. I've known him for, I guess, an awful long time, 15 years or so, and a spectacular plastic surgeon and person, and a very centrist in terms of your views, which I think is great. What's your website for your campaign?
Sure, it's www.drjeffforassembly.com, and that Dr. Jeff for Assembly is one word.
Okay, so Dr. Jeff for Assembly. So here's what the marching orders for the listening audience is. Go out and vote this Tuesday, and vote for my good friend, Dr. Jeff Asherman. And if you feel so inclined, you know, everybody could use a few dollars for advertisements and things, so you can go to his website and maybe donate to the website if you support what he believes in, which you should. So thank you so much, Dr. Jeff Asherman. Good luck on Tuesday.
Thank you, Art, and I thank all your listeners. I really appreciate everyone listening.
Well, I want to thank you for taking your time and running, because, you know, politics is a thankless profession, you know, and we need people like you in politics. I'd sleep a lot better if I had, you know, hundreds of Dr. Jeff Ashermans in the state assembly, state senate, and heaven forbid on the federal level. So thank you again for running. My pleasure, and I just hope to get in there so that I really can help all New Yorkers. That's what I would love to do. Okay, so Tuesday, those of you who live in the Upper East Side and Upper Midtown, I believe, Manhattan, give a vote for my friend Dr. Jeff Asherman. All right, thanks so much. Have a great evening, and tell your wife thank you for giving me 10 minutes of your time this evening, Jeff. Thank you, Art. Okay, thanks so much. I'm Dr. Arthur Perry. This is What's Your Wrinkle right here on WABC. The phone number 800-848-9222, 800-848-WABC.